Caitlin Clark new product and collection with the new CC Nike logo will be dropping soon. We gonna get into all of it.
WNBA pick Caitlin Clark, her first pro game, 10 days away. But even before she makes her pro debut, she has a major Nike deal on the...
Caitlin Clark has stunned the WNBA world by signing a historic $50 million deal with Nike, unveiling her personal CC branding and a signature sneaker line that fans are already loving.
So it's finally here. It's finally here. The Caitlin Clark logo. I just realized I haven't even put on my
Caitlin Clark shook the WNBA with a $50 million Nike deal, dropping her own CC logo and sneakers fans are loving. The twist? She used her influence to get teammate Sophie Cunningham her own shoe collab too.
Number 1 and 2 in every offensive stat. She's hitting more threes this season than Steph Curry did in his first MVP.
We're talking about a historic $50 million deal. Yes, $50 million. That figure alone shows just how much influence Caitlin Clark holds in women's basketball right now. While early reports claimed it was $28 million over 8 years, Nike later confirmed the full value, including bonuses and endorsements, totals $50 million.
Well, Caitlin Clark could be breaking another record, this time with an endorsement deal. The Associated Press says Clark will soon be signing an 8-year, $28 million contract with Nike.
Clark is carrying the league on her back and will easily hit those bonuses. Meanwhile, some NBA vets grinding for years haven't reached those numbers. Yet here we are, a WNBA rookie just months into her pro career, already securing one of the biggest sneaker deals in basketball history. It's not just historic, it's a game changer for the entire league.
Are they ever gonna call a foul? Y'all gonna call a foul? Did you swallow your whistle?
Timing couldn't be better. Just months into her pro career and before the 2026 season even starts, Clark is already dominating headlines. No one else in the WNBA comes close to that kind of impact. This isn't just a typical endorsement, it's a full-on takeover. Caitlin Clark just made it clear, the WNBA's relevance today rides on her name.
Their best record in over 10 years.
League could crumble tomorrow, but Clark's Nike deal ensures she remains the global face of women's basketball. That's a major blow to WNBA stars struggling to even sell jerseys. Now, about the birth of the CC brand, Nike didn't just invest money, they gave her a platform to build an empire. Clark revealed her new CC logo on X, teasing the CC3 sneakers set to drop in 2026. Fans are already buzzing, lining up for gear like shirts, hats, and socks, before anything is even out.
New Caitlin Clark logo is out. She took to Twitter and said, tune in, logo collection coming.
People want it all, and the shoes are expected to sell out immediately. Why? Because unlike most WNBA merch that ends up forgotten, Caitlin's gear actually sells. She's the only player in the league who can move products like this. Just like Kobe had his sneakers, Clark is stepping into that legacy with her own line. That's a true generational handoff. The WNBA should be celebrating her every week for keeping the game alive.
Oh, that logo is fire. That logo is fire. Let's go. Let's go. I couldn't get the P.
At this, it's rumored that on June 30, 2025, 13,000 pairs of Caitlin Clark's Nike sneakers sold out in just one day. That's a huge statement. She's already proving her market power months before the official 2026 launch.
That we were put in for, injuries or, coach it not being here for a couple games too. Like everybody's been through a little bit of adversity here. So I think just giving our group credit for being able to stick together and, know that whatever's in our locker room is really all we need.
That's unheard of in women's basketball. When was the last time anyone cared this much about a WNBA player's sneakers? Exactly, never. Caitlin's merch is on track to become a cultural phenomenon, not just a sports trend. The league had years to build something with their faces, but none made a real impact. Then Caitlin arrives and, in just one season, leaves them all behind. The CC brand is shining a light on how irrelevant much of the rest of the WNBA feels right now.
Number 1 is Sabrina's in WNBA logos. Number 2, I'm giving Angel Reese the logo, the number 2 logo. But, there is a but, this is 100 times better than the A'ja Wilson logo. This is 1,000,000 times better than the A'ja Wilson logo.
This is way better than the Age of Wilson logo. But it gets even more surprising when we talk about Sophie Cunningham. At a Nike event in Indianapolis, Everyone expected Caitlyn to steal the show with all eyes on her big deal. Instead, she flipped the script and made the biggest assist of her career, bringing Sophie Cunningham into the spotlight. That's right, Caitlyn used her contract influence to help her teammate shine. No other WNBA player has ever done anything like that.
Well, like, obviously WNBA eyes. Reebok could never. WNBA misses you. Kane Clark signature shoe only 2 years overdue. I mean,
Nike revealed a custom Sophie Cunningham P sneaker in bold fever colors, with no backing down stitched on the heel, a perfect motto since Sophie has been Clark's protector from day one. But this wasn't just a PR move. Sophie actually signed a sub-deal under Caitlyn's Nike endorsement. Let me say that again. Sophie Cunningham is officially part of Clark's Nike deal because Caitlyn made it happen. This is historic. The first time in the WNBA that one player has used their endorsement influence to bring a teammate on board. And it didn't come from the league, the owners, or sponsors. It came directly from Caitlyn Clark, who basically said, "If I'm eating, my teammate is eating too." Behind all the hype of Clark's $50 million Nike deal, the WNBA itself looks like it might collapse under poor management. The league and players' union have until October 31, 2025, to ratify a new collective bargaining agreement, but sources say a deal seems unlikely. That means a strike or lockout could cancel the entire 2026 season. Only the WNBA could ride the biggest wave of attention in its history, thanks to Clark, and still mess it up with boardroom drama. While Caitlyn is busy building a global brand, the league's leadership seems more interested in running out the clock than negotiating a deal.
And it says new CBA by October 31st deadline appears increasingly
The players aren't asking for the moon. Their requests are simple: fairer revenue sharing, real benefits that don't feel like minimum wage perks, roster expansion so more athletes can earn a living, and decent workplace standards befitting a professional league. But instead of making progress, the WNBA seems reluctant to treat its players like pros. Look at the NBA. They get about 50% of basketball-related income. In contrast, the WNBA's salary cap only grows by a meager 3% each year. That's not growth, it's pocket change, as if the league is saying, "Here's a tip for your hard work." Meanwhile, the league sits on an 11-year, $2.2 billion media rights deal and collects $250 million expansion fees from new franchises in Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia. The money exists, it just isn't reaching the players on the court. That's the absurd part. The league acts broke while cashing billion-dollar checks. The NBA understood long ago that paying players fairly strengthens the product. The WNBA still clings to penny pinching as a business strategy. So, what happens next? The October 31st deadline looms, tensions rise, and the threat of a lockout grows. It's almost like the league is undermining its own momentum.
The WNBA Women's National Basketball Players Association have just over 60 days to ratify a new collective bargaining agreement, and it looks increasingly like the October 31st deadline will come and go without a deal.
Caitlyn Clark has taken the WNBA to new heights. The 2025 All-Star Game hit a record 3.4 million viewers, arenas sell out whenever she plays, and her merch is flying off the shelves. But while she's raising the league's profile, the owners keep disrespecting the players. Their latest offer was a pay increase that sounded good on paper but was called out as a slap in the face. No matter the number, if the system stays broken, it's still disrespect, disguised as generosity.
Was, I believe, Caitlyn Clark's last game in the WNBA. And then also, of course, the WNBA All-Star Game had 3.4 million viewers, and that's the most watched
Stars like Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier say the talks are pointless. When your biggest names call negotiations a waste, you know the system's broken. Fans should be excited, but instead, they watch millionaires and billion-dollar owners bicker as a shutdown looms. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark is building a cultural empire with Nike and doing more for the sport than the league itself. Yet, the WNBA risks collapsing during her prime. Finally, a superstar to elevate the league, and it might all fall apart. That's the WNBA in a nutshell.
Made it her business to repost Nike dropping her logo. Now, we all know this is long overdue, bro. Long overdue.
It all comes back to Caitlyn Clark's Nike deal. This $50 million contract isn't just about the money, it's a game changer for women's sports. Clark didn't just secure her own future, She showed that true influence means using your platform to reshape the game. She proved it by bringing Sophie Cunningham into her deal, pushing Nike to focus on real loyalty instead of typical PR. She's rewriting what power looks like in women's sports. But the dark side? Her prime could be wasted if the WNBA can't sort out a basic contract.
City, and I think, there's already been so much time, effort put in by so many people that, aren't going to get credit for what they did to bring All-Star here. So, trying to make it the best All-Star the WNBA has ever had, I know we'll certainly do.
It's crazy to think the player who made the WNBA must-watch, the rookie selling out arenas, breaking records, and dropping sneakers that sell out fast, could have her career derailed by poor leadership. A potential work stoppage looms over everything. Fans don't care about revenue splits or legal details. They just want to see Caitlin Clark play. If the league can't deliver, it's game over. The WNBA has two choices: step into a new golden era with Caitlin leading, or collapse into irrelevance with a lockout that proves it can't handle success.